You ever just have ADHD? No? Let's talk about it anyway.
That Oreo was fucking so good. I came twice.
How has ADHD affected you in your life?
ADHD has affected me positively and negatively a lot in my life, and I feel like uh there are positives and there are negatives in this generation, and then in like previous generations, those negatives and positives would switch for me, to be honest. So as a kid growing up, I was basically allowed to do whatever I wanted. My parents didn't really have many rules for me. So being a kid with ADHD, having unfeathered access to the internet, really didn't help my childhood a lot. Considering the fact that I was also very stupid and I like to try a lot of the things I saw online in real life. In school, of course, I could never focus and fucking, um, you know, it's just, I am not good at interviews.
Let's take
Yeah.
a leap of faith, bro. All right, let's stand on the edge. Stand on the edge, bro. Stand beside me.
Okay, hold my hand. Hold my hand.
All right, bro.
I'm scared, Daddy. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ready? 1, 2,
Okay.
3. And there we are.
And we're alive. Shut up, bitch. Bah! Fuck, what was I gonna say? Fucking, it's created definitely a lot of problems in my life. I wouldn't say necessarily that ADHD made me introverted, but it definitely did not help me socialize at all. Um, cause I feel like my brain's kind of weirder than most. With my ADHD, it makes me think a lot. I'm almost always in my head. So if there's a scenario that you could think of between us, I probably already thought about it and thought about what would actually happen in that scenario. Which I feel, if as we were saying before, if I was back in the old days, hunter gatherer, that would be really helpful because I'd always find a way to fucking see how my enemies would fucking stab me in the butt.
Like, okay, that's what I think too. I feel like evolutionary, like if you have ADHD and you're like in the woods and you hear like, I feel like your abilities are heightened when it comes to like hearing stuff. Like I feel like if you're in the woods and like you're hunting and you hear like a twig snap, I feel like you'd be more like aware of things around you than most because you're always looking everywhere. You're always like scanning and analyzing things.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking, I hope you don't mind demonetization, because I swear, like,
no, I'm not gonna make anything
trucker,
anyway.
man. Well, you never know. You might get popular. I think you're gonna get popular. Die.
You murked me, brother. Oh,
what
the fuck was that?
I died.
Oh, where'd you go? Oh, he killed himself. Let's see if I can find him.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm back. That man just would not die. Give me my swords. And they're gone. Okay, well, we just won't go kill it. We won't kill anything this time. Pacifist run.
But yeah,
yeah, but honestly, I think that ADHD definitely has a lot of advantages to it. Like, I feel like people with ADHD are a lot more creative and more handy, more like if you're a kid and you have ADHD, you've probably taken stuff apart, like at least a couple things you've taken apart just cause. It enhances your brain function. It is our next evolution. I'm decades above the science community on this. It is the next evolution. We are the next missing link.
the next, but you're not missing, bro.
That's not what the IRS thinks.
What are the deeper negative aspects of ADHD?
I think, like I mentioned before, as a positive, thinking a lot. My fucking hand is fuck. There we go. Thinking a lot. Definitely, at least with my brain, because I have a lot of social anxiety and just regular anxiety. So in my head, I'm always thinking of ways of what I'm doing wrong around being in a big group. I'm always thinking of things that I'm doing wrong. Like maybe I smell bad. Maybe I didn't brush my teeth today.
Bro, I get the
Maybe I got a
exact
stain
same
on my
thing.
shirt.
Where I'm like, if I feel like
Maybe shit
my
that's
breath
not
is gonna
even
smell
like
weird.
real. Like I've maybe like just I think everything. I think the worst of everything
Bro, me
in
too. I
social
think
situations.
I don't know. You ever just like take in everything? Like you look up at, you know what I do now? I look up at the sky and I think of like, you
Hmm.
can, because you can, if you fry, you can see how it's kind of roundish, right? And then you're like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, we're kind of just like in a snow globe biome. Like like when I was in Cuba, I felt that way. Like this is like this is like the beach world, you know? This is the beach biome. This is the
Oh,
winter biome. Wait, can we swim?
I don't know.
So
Reel it
it
back.
affects your,
Toss it.
it affects you like negatively, like through thought, right?
Yeah, definitely. Um, I mean, there's a lot more negative things to ADHD, but I personally don't have enough experience talking with other people with ADHD to know what the difference is if it's just me personally or if it's actually ADHD itself.
So do you ever like while you're sitting in a room, right? Do you ever like you're like okay, I need to know where all the exits are, and like if I were to go out the window, I could like hang on this way, let go a little bit, maybe it would break my fall a little bit, or if I like
Yes. Yeah, all the time, yes.
you do like the Sherlock Holmes, if I do this and this and this and then this.
It's like if someone were to randomly break into my room at night, I've got a weapon here, 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 and I can
Exactly,
fucking
exactly.
I'll roll off the bed, pull it out, shoot them, fucking.
I always think if there's a fire in like in my house, I'll just plug all the sinks and leave them all on or turn them all on. I don't think that would do much though.
It stopped the floor from catching on fire.
How do you treat the negative aspects of your ADHD?
How do I deal? Oh, that's a good question. I found my own ways, like just like a lot with my anger. My ADHD definitely amplified that a fuck ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I just I don't know. I don't want to just say that I kind of dealt with it because that's like a stupid, boring answer. But like,
Bro, look
I
how
don't really know
beautiful
how to
this is.
explain how I
Sorry.
dealt with it. Oh yeah,
Sorry
I
for
know. It's
going off on my
fucking
own fucking thing.
beautiful. It's all right. Sometimes speaking of, sometimes I just admire the beauty of the world. Like I'll have a bad day or something, and I'll think fucking they couldn't get any worse, and then I'll go somewhere. I'll fucking sit down and I'll look up at the sky and I'll just think, man, I'm a fucking insignificant speck on this ball of rock floating in space.
Yeah.
I should not be. This does not need to make me the way I am feeling. I can overcome this. We have made it to the moon. I can overcome this. And like I just kind of I've used my disadvantage of always thinking and always being negative, and I turned it into an advantage of always thinking about the positives, the fucking what the next good thing life is gonna bring instead of the next bad thing.
Yeah. Let's go in the water. Continue talking.
All
I'll
right,
just go in the water.
let's have a let's have a little splash time.
The beneficial parts. What do you think is beneficial about having ADHD? What do you think is beneficial about having ADHD?
I like how a lot of people say that's a negative, but honestly, if you know how to work with your ADHD, it can definitely be turned into a mega positive. Focus, not be. You can get into stages of hyper. I've found hyper focus on literally the most boring shit in the world,
Yeah.
just because you want to, because you
I
feel like you
exactly.
need to be focused on it.
Yeah, that's the
You
thing.
can.
I've noticed that if you have ADHD, right, on things you don't want to do, even if like your brain just doesn't want to, you just don't give a shit about it. Your brain's like, "What are you doing, bro? I don't want to do this," right? But if it's something that you
Yeah.
want to do, you excel insanely. And I searched it up. Apparently, that's actually like a thing. And like, I've noticed that too, where it's like you go into hyper focus mode if you're doing something. Like you stay up all night if that's what it takes to finish doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you want the determination you have to just get it done is insane.
Yeah.
We gotta get to him. We gotta go up top there.
Wait, will those boars attack? I feel like ADHD also. I don't know why. but I think it lets you immerse yourself in things more. Kind of because I feel like you're not really paying attention to the smaller things.
Yeah, you just kind of you see. This is another thing I think about ADHD. You do not focus so much on the small things, but you're more open to seeing the bigger picture
Yeah.
of what's happening around you. You are much more aware of the bigger things at play rather than the cogs moving it along. But you definitely can be aware of those cogs. It just
Yeah.
you're
If you're
you're just
looking for
more
them,
aware of the bigger. Yeah.
he's
Oh
looking
fuck! Look
for
at him. He's huge. That's like a Clefairy over there.
a Clefable. Wait. Which one's after?
Wait,
Clefable's pre Clefairy.
Clefairy? I don't know. I just remember that in the original Pokemon Yellow, I could never fucking catch it in the Safari.
You know, what I
Pissed
realized
me
that we're
off.
doing right now.
Last,
We're
yeah.
getting sidetracked often, and I mean that's another just a thing of ADHD. You just get
Oh yeah,
sidetracked
we
because you're
get.
just thinking of so many things.
Yeah, you just can't remember what you're focusing on in the moment. Your mind wants to go a million different places, and you just have to keep it regulated like a machine, like a
Yeah,
well-oiled machine.
but I feel like that makes it so that if you have ADHD, right, it's like harder to
Oh,
like to vibe or like carry a conversation with people that don't have it. But like you and I both have it, so like when I got sidetracked and said something over there, you also got sidetracked, but in the same like you carried the conversation. And just now I carried the Clefable thing. I feel like that's like it's like easier to vibe with people that like
yes.
that have it, because if not, they don't understand. They're like, what the hell? I'm trying to talk to this fucking guy's talking about Pokemon.
He's talking about fucking Pokemon and then manga. Like, what the hell? Superheroes? What the fuck is this man talking about?
What, in your opinion, is a practical effect of ADHD?
Um, really, I think it comes back to our brains. Really, are our biggest. There are they can be our biggest fucking achievement, yet at the same time they can bring us down to nothing. Like if you have ADHD, your brain it's kind of like if you have autism. Your brain is just wired differently. It's not wrong. It's not wired wrongly. It's just different. But yeah, I think it comes back to our hyper focus and just our ability to get shit done. That it can be a really big hindrance. Like in school, I always found that shit so boring that
Yeah, me too.
like I almost wouldn't do it at that point. Like my brain just literally would not compute the fucking what it wanted me to do.
For me, it's more like when I was in school, I'm like, why am I doing this shit when I can be like practicing the thing I want to do in college instead? I don't want to practice all this other
Yes.
random shit that's not gonna. I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's what I felt like. Why don't I just go work and see what the world is actually like, what you're supposedly preparing me for?
Exactly.
Which, to be honest, I've learned more from being my time outside of school than being inside school.
Yeah, me too. You learn more on the internet, right? That's how I am. I can learn from YouTube
Yeah,
videos of like people. This is the thing. I learn better doing them or seeing someone do them instead of
yeah, yeah.
reading about how to do them. But
Yeah.
reading it is a piece of shit for me.
Oh, another advantage to having ADHD, I think, is our brains compute things faster than
Yeah.
the average brain. Like we understand and will it just works faster, like because we're always thinking like our brains just work in a faster pace than a normal
Yeah.
person, which can also be a downside because you're always fucking mentally exhausted, or at least I
Yeah.
am. I don't know about you.
I don't know if it's just maybe it's just me, but like I assume that when you have ADHD, your dreams are crazy because some of mine are so realistic. I could write if I wrote them down, I could make them a TV show or a cartoon. You
Dude,
know?
same. I have some dreams that I just can't remember a single thing from them, and then some are so vivid. Like, one of my dreams, I was in my neighborhood, and I started to realize it was a dream, and I started lucid dreaming, and I went to my buddy's house and went up his stairs into his like kitchen area, and there was the fuck. Do you know what Wayside is?
Yeah, I know what Wayside is.
Do you know the lunch lady from Wayside?
Miss Mush.
Miss Mush. Yes. There was a scene, I'm pretty sure, in that show where Miss Mush rips her head off to like it's like a mask, but she rips her face off and reveals a fucking fly face, and that is exactly what happened to my in my dream. She literally turned around and fucking ripped her face off, and it was a fly face underneath. Oh fuck, sorry.
Okay, so in your
Picked it.
opinion, is ADHD a superpower?
Yes and no. Um, Definitely it can be superior to a person without ADHD. It is a superpower for your brain. It's like taking steroids for your brain, in the fact that it just juices it up. It makes it work in overdrive. It's like your brain is your CPU and it's just constantly on overclocked.
Yeah. Well, I agree with the steroid and the overclock thing because when you do both of them, there's negative side effects, right?
Exactly.
So there are negative parts to the positive that it does. Would you agree that in some ways it is, and in others it isn't? It
Yeah,
like outbalance.
yes, for sure. So there's been many people in life that have had diseases or crazy mental illnesses that have literally been considered geniuses. Like this saying could not be more true, in my opinion. That insanity comes along with smarts, intelligence. Sorry, insanity comes along with intelligence.
I agree. There's like bliss in being ignorant, or what is it called?
Yeah,
Ignorant
yeah.
bliss or something.
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. How did I forget that? Before we leave into this, even I don't know if this is actually the ending. I need to ask if you could, would you erase like delete like would you cure your ADHD?
Ooh. No, no, I wouldn't. I feel like that would kind of just be it would be like doing it's like working on somebody else's car. You're
Yeah.
doing a whole bunch of work, figuring shit out, learning what works and what doesn't, and then just to give it all up.
Do you feel like your ADHD is hardwired into your brain, like into who you are?
I feel that my ADHD has definitely found its way into shaping who I am and what my personality is, for sure, yes. I definitely wouldn't be who I am without my ADHD, and that is something that I've thought on a lot. I may not be standing right here if I had not done what I had done in the past. I'm Tanner. This has been Angel's Spacecast, and fucking welcome to Jackass. Woo!
Fucking flip.